Hello, my name is Danielle Bussey, and I am a senior here at Rolston Valley. I play the cello. I am interested in the arts, like drawing and painting, and I like watching detective and true crime shows on TV. And next year, I plan to go to BYU Provo, where I'll hopefully major in art education to become a high school art teacher. I hopefully will be able to live in Alaska at some point and teach there as well. So, economics is a huge part of our lives every day. We have to make choices every day about what we decide to consume, produce, or the ideas we come up with. However, due to scarcity, we cannot simply have everything we desire. We have a limited amount of resources because of that. A trade off is when we are faced with a decision where the path of one choice means losing the other path. Trade offs can help us understand that we can't have both options due to scarcity or another reason. We can't always have everything we want because we don't have the resources. Whenever we decide to create a good or service, such as making dinner, helping at a homeless shelter for charity work, or even doing your job at work, we need to consider the factors of production. We have the land, either the land itself or the goods in it. We have our own labor or others' labor that produces such goods, capital, which are the tools and materials needed to produce, and entrepreneurship, which are the ideas of the producer and others. In most cases, they look at these four factors and base their decisions on them. For example, I work at Subway. Subway has to notice what resources Corp has to ship out, and they need new products for new sandwiches. Sometimes items run out or they're just not good enough to sell, so we have to serve what we have and tell customers the limited choices we have. A while ago, we had to take roast beef off the menu because the price of roast beef went up, so we couldn't sell that anymore and we had to explain that to customers. Sometimes even we get bad produce with really bad tomatoes or really old cucumbers, and we can't sell it, and we have to explain to customers the shortage of vegetables. The laborer, works there and serves the customers. Capital in Subway includes the ingredients needed to make the recipes theirs and Tupperware to help prep these foods. Entrepreneurship includes Subway Corp coming up with new ideas for goods, like the most recent changes to Subway, including new sandwiches and better quality ingredients. Now, that was an example on a more business professional level in my life, but let's look more closely at a basic level of a high school student as well as I. Opportunity cost is the value of the next most desirable alternative. If I were to decide to skip work to finish homework or hang out with friends, my opportunity cost would be my lost wages. The other way around, by choosing to go to work, would mean I will lose the time to do homework or hang out with friends. Every day, it seems, as a student, I make decisions such as these. Most recently, I had to decide to either leave my last period 20 minutes early so that I could make it on time to my internship or stay for those 20 minutes. Ultimately, I chose to leave the 20 minutes early because of my priorities, but that meant I lost 20 minutes of class and the learning that I left in that class. However, if I were to have chosen to stay for those 20 minutes, that means I would have to arrive late to my internship and lose valuable time working with my mentor and learning lessons there with her. Another example of opportunity cost in my life would be choosing to go do homework or going out with friends. Sometimes my friends invite me to go out with them to a football game or to go out for lunch or even shopping, but I also have homework to do that day. Now, if I were to choose out to go with friends, which I usually do choose that option, that means I would lose time to do homework and would risk committing an assignment late. If I were to choose to stay at home and do homework, I will lose the experience of going out with friends and having fun. Every day we make decisions like these, and it's up to so many different incentives that make us choose a certain path, whether it be priorities, time, punishment, money, etc. Now let's look on more of a governmental level. Governments, when faced with the problem of scarcity, have to ask three questions: what to produce, how to produce it, and whom to produce it for. Different economic systems, how a government decides to produce and distribute goods and services, answer those three questions, and decide how to deal with the problem of scarcity and how to treat their citizens based on that. The government ultimately determines the four factors of production: who owns the land, how is wealth distributed, who provides the resources, and who is allowed to profit. There are four economic systems: free market, century plan, mixed, and traditional economy. Traditional economy is making your decisions and answering those three questions how your ancestors did. Farming it the same way, distributing it the same way, and buying it the same way. A free market is when the people are free to buy and sell whatever their money allows. The government is usually not involved in these businesses, and their role is to be the country's defenders. There is not a country anywhere who has a 100% version of this economy, since that would just be pure chaos, but most countries do have some level of it. One way to think of this is as a garage sale. The owner is able to sell whatever he or she pleases at whatever price. The customer can bargain for the product, and the owner can decide on the new product if it is fair or not. Centrally planned economy is when the government makes all economic decisions. Communist countries are usually under these categories. Cuba and Germany are a couple of examples of this. Cuba, even today, as we see on news and articles, has a communistic government and has had a communistic government for a while now, where the government makes all decisions such as food rations and wages. Cuba is suffering majorly from this. Citizens try to flee every day from the government. Another example of a centrally planned economy is Russia, a very well-known communist country with state control over virtually all means of production and consumption decisions throughout the economy. Next, there is a mixed economy, which we see here in the US and a lot of other countries. Is one of the most common economies in the world. It's a combination of a centrally planned market and the free market. However, countries mix these markets differently with different levels of each. Here in the US, we have laws to keep us safe. We also have punishments for breaking those laws, like going to jail, fines, community service, etc. The US government partially controls many goods or services such as education, courts, roads, hospital care, and postal delivery. It also provides aid to agricultural producers, oil companies, financial companies, and utility firms, and much more. For example, private individuals cannot legally provide or purchase certain types of goods like certain drugs or raw milk. Other products face heavy taxation just to discourage their use. However, individuals are allowed to start a business and sell products. Yes, there are some regulations, but overall, the government doesn't get too heavily involved unless they need to. We are able to make our own decisions and run our own businesses without the government telling us what to do every step of the way. I personally could create a small business at my own age on different platforms like Etsy. I can sell my art for whatever price that seems fit, and people can decide whether or not they wish to buy it. I can use my hobbies to my advantage and make money from it. I can also even come up with a whole new product that helps a group of people and create a business and make money from that. If I were to come up with the idea of a drink that makes you focus more in school and sell that, I'd have to not only look at my audience on how to successfully run that business, but also follow the laws and regulations the government has provided while running a business like that, and also paying taxes. Economics influence not only on a governmental level, but also on a business and personal level. Even a high school student could be affected just like I. So I encourage whoever is watching, if you're a high school student, think about how economy and economics affect you. What can you do and what can you not do with a mixed economy like in the US, and would you even want to make a business?